Welcome back to Kettlebells and Cocktails. I'm John with my bestie, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm glorious. How are
Are
you
you?
doing?
Are you glorious?
Yeah, I am. I
I'm
am. It's
I'm
true.
I'm a little moist.
Ugh, nobody
I
likes that word. No
I
one.
I know. Well,
Gross.
before I even get into that, Tasia Percevecz, is that right? Did I get it?
Very
Yes.
close. Yes, nailed it.
Yeah, I don't think I nailed it, is with us. So thank you for joining. I am moist because my dishwasher broke and I've been washing dishes like a pilgrim for the last hour.
Oh
It's
my
terrible.
God. No, no.
So
That is like my one stipulation of being an adult is like I refuse to not have a dishwasher.
oh, it's terrible. Well, it started breaking like, it's like on its last leg. It's the only appliance in this house that I didn't replace when I bought the house 7 years ago. It was in good shape then, and I replaced everything else. And so, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that, I opened the dishwasher and it wasn't clean. And I'm like, did I not run it? Like, am I getting that old? I can't remember if I pressed the button. So I press it again and I walk away from it and I come back and like 15 minutes later, it's off again. And I'm like, oh, I think it's dying. I think it's dying. And so then I tested it and sure as the world, it was dying. But I was going out of town, so I couldn't go buy one and like right away. So I've been like kind of living this way for a couple of weeks. So I went and bought one. It's getting installed on Friday, but I had a mound of dishes tonight and I couldn't stand it anymore.
That's terrible.
So,
I actually have two dishwashers in my house.
What?
Yeah, I
Why?
know. Well, it's wild. Well, because I found out through like 7 years of marriage now that if I just leave dishes in the sink, they magically
yeah.
get done by the dishwasher fairy who lives in my house.
I was going to say, it's
Right.
very
That's
sexist.
nice.
Very sexist to refer to Matt as your dishwasher, but okay.
Well,
Well,
he is. That's the absolute reality of the situation. The absolute reality of the situation is I know for a fact if I leave dishes in the sink, he gets annoyed enough to do my dishes for me. And so I do. It's a learned behavior. I am a 14-year-old boy in his house. He's so clean and put together, and I'm just like, you can see the trail of clothes that I leave as I take them off, and the dishes in the sink. I'm not proud of it, but it's who I am.
I love it.
It's working for you too if he's cleaning up after you.
Yeah. I don't think it's working for him, but certainly working for me.
How is he about picking up after baby stuff? Does he do that too?
We got a good system for the baby stuff. Like he does all the laundry in the house, including like he's always done all the laundry, all the dishes. That's like who he is. But then like I fold and put away the baby laundry because it's like I know where it goes and I set up the nursery and I'm particular about like you hang the overalls and then you fold the sweaters and then so it's a good system.
You have the dream marriage. The husband does the dishes, does the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
It's
look
true.
at
Yeah.
you.
I don't deny that.
You should write a book on how to train your man.
You just are so annoying and dirty and gross that he has to do it for you because
He
otherwise
has
it
no
doesn't
other
get
option.
done. Yeah, that's it. Did you like the laundry done? You should do it.
Wow.
Just keep it up.
Love it. Well, Tasia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We have been meaning to have you on since the MAC. We ran into Tasia at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship or whatever the heck they're calling it now. Or I ran into you and you had no idea who I was.
That's fair.
This is my favorite interaction with people. My favorite interaction with people that know me but don't know me. Like they know me through the page, but we've never really met. And we've talked, but we've never really met. Because I just love going up and going, oh, how are you doing? Good to see you again. And just see that look of like, who are you? I know I should know you, but I don't. And then introduce myself and you're like, oh, you're that guy. Yes.
Did you admit it though, Tasia? Were you like, I'm sorry, who are you?
I can't remember, but I'm
You had
like,
no idea.
I had no idea who you were because I'd seen you through the meme account, obviously, but not like your face because you're not putting your face on the account. But I meet so many people that sometimes, you don't want to be, you don't know which way to go, right? You want to be honest and be like, I don't know who you are, but like, have we met before? Because I might have met you and I'm sorry if I don't remember. But there's just, especially at something like the MAC where there's so many people that are there in the CrossFit space that I might have actually met at one point. But yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst at that shit. When people are like, oh my God, and hey, Nikki, I'm like, hey, and I like will not admit in real life that I don't know. Like, oh, it was so. And if you're like, who is that? I would be like, I have no fucking clue. I don't
Dude.
know, but I won't. I can't get. I feel so rude if I don't know. I won't admit it.
It happens to
A
me
lot
all
of
the
time.
time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just like, will you remind me of your name? And then I try to like connect the dots and get it there.
Well, in
Yeah.
this case, it really wasn't fair because Haley's a bestie of ours. Like we love Haley so much. And so I always see you, you guys in post together because you're coaching her and like you can see you on the sidelines and all the stories. And so like, I can't speak for Nikki, but I always feel connected to people when I really follow them and, I know somebody through them. And so it was unfair to me, but it was also really funny. So I enjoyed it.
Oh, I feel particularly connected to Tasia. Do you know the very first time that we met, and you probably don't even remember this because this was like a bazillion years ago, but can I tell like my meeting Tasia story for the first time?
Yes.
I would love that.
Okay, so this was the Killcliff ECCs. What was it, like 2016?
Yeah, it was
maybe?
2016.
And I remember, so Dylan at the time, who now works for Loud and Live, was at the time working on our side, on the dark side of the media team, and he was one of our MCs, and he was announcing and calling you, and you were doing incredibly well. And I remember you were like an East Coast New England person, and so I connected with that on paper, of course. I was like, that's my girl right there. And Dylan was the first person to ever say your name to me, and he was like, you watch out for this girl. Like, I swear, this girl, she's going places, she's gonna go to the games, you're gonna know her name, like all that. So that was the first event where I ever saw you and met you. And I just remember him saying that to me and me being like, this New England girl's gonna rep it for us from here on out. And then you moved to the Midwest.
Oh man, that's so nice of him. Dang. Yeah, I remember the ECC. I competed, I think 3 years there, but 2016 in particular, I had done really well at the competition. So it was kind of like people like, who is this random person with this really weird name that's doing well? And even myself, I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing well. I don't know what's going on. This is so weird. But
you're like, yeah, who is that girl? It's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like this weird thing of I'm like, I don't know why I'm standing here, but I'm cool with it. Let's go.
Good stuff.
Nikki, I don't like the way you said Midwest. You said it like all Midwesterners are like, it's like what you do with Canada. We're getting back to this.
Oh, here we go. I know. Cue the hate mail. Cue the Midwest hate mail. No, it's not that. I promise it's not that. It's honestly just that we don't have there's not a lot of folks as a New Englander. There's not a lot of folks that can be like, yeah, that person. Well, now there's a lot like in the training camp with Ben up in Mass and stuff like that. But at the time, there were not all that many New Englanders repping it hardcore at the CrossFit Games. So,
Well, Tasia, you're in Cookeville though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Cookeville, which I don't know if that's is that considered Midwest?
No, absolutely.
Oh my God, it's not. Oh my
Absolutely
God.
I was like,
Here we
I
go.
feel like that's like
Here we
still
go.
kind of
No.
east.
No, look, if you're south of Ohio,
South.
it's the South. It's the South.
It is the South. Yeah, that's
You're
correct.
right. You're totally. Here we go. My geography blows. I'm gonna get the hate mail. It's just, I. You know what? This is mom brain.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Blame on the
fair.
baby.
Yeah. How long do I get to say that for and have it be a viable excuse?
Well, my mom's in her 70s and she still does it, so I think you're good.
Okay. Perfect.
This is mom brain.
Mom brain. Oh yeah, South. Duh. Midwest, South. Whatever. Same thing.
It's all
Not New England. Not New England and not California. Literally, if you're from New England, then the rest is like, nah.
Yeah, that's fair. From living in New England for 10 years, I get it.
Yeah. Like there's stuff outside of us. Good Lord.
I just passed through Tennessee over the weekend and it makes me want to get down there more often because I love Tennessee. I hate Kentucky, but I love Tennessee for what that's worth.
Oh my
All the
God.
Kentucky
Cue
people are
John's
gonna-
hate mail.
I know. Well, look, the state's gigantic. It takes forever to get through Kentucky and there's nothing between Louisville and Nashville. It's a nightmare, total nightmare.
So what part of Tennessee did you go to? Was it Nashville?
Yeah, well, I passed through Nashville. I was going to Mississippi for a wedding and I had a niece that was getting married. And so I have to drive through and I do that drive a couple of times a year. And Kentucky's just the worst. It's just the worst. I'm sure people there are lovely. And, Louisville seems like an okay city for whatever that's worth. And so does Lexington. Like the two I've been in, the cities are really cool. But everything in between, there's like nothing, no exits, like nowhere to stop, just a void. Just a big
Welcome
void.
back to the We Shit on Random States podcast. Whoops. Let's not
Tennessee's
piss
great
anyone
though.
else off.
How
There you
long?
go.
How long have you been in Cookville?
Almost 5 years now. It's kind
Oh,
of
wow.
crazy how fast the time has gone.
And where
Wild.
are you from? Where are you from originally?
So I was born and raised in Arizona, and I lived there until I was 18. And then I went to the University of New Hampshire. So I went like clear across the country and competed there. I did gymnastics there. Once I graduated, I stayed there for about another 5 years. That's when I got CrossFit. And then when I ended up coming to be on Rich's team about 5 years ago, I moved to Tennessee. So I've been like west, east, and now south.
Wow. Any favorites? Maybe you can just crap on a state for us. Which one did you hate? Which one did you hate the most?
I definitely hated Arizona the most, but I didn't know that until I left because it was kind of like the only thing I had ever experienced growing up. And when I went to the University of New Hampshire, I moved there in August. And so it's like prime time getting into fall, like school had just started. And I remember being just so amazed at, like, if you've ever been to New Hampshire in peak fall foliage, it is absolutely stunning. So it was such a beautiful thing. And then I had like my first real snow. And so I loved the change in seasons because I had never experienced anything different. Arizona, which is a beautiful state, is pretty the same all year round. So I really like the change from Arizona to New Hampshire. And then Tennessee's kind of similar to New Hampshire, but just muted. Like everything's just like a little bit not as cold, not as hot. Well, that's not true. It's actually really hot and humid, but it's just a little bit different. It's a little milder.
I love Tennessee. I liked I did like, and I still like the fact when I go home in the wintertime that January, you will often run into 60-degree weather. I know it gets cold, but you'll get those little warm spells, and it just gives me the break from Ohio, which that never happens. You know, it's just the best for me.
Yeah, there's definitely some warm days in the winter. The only thing I'll say about Tennessee is a lot of times the winter times are very gray, which is like hard when it's like rainy and gray and just dragging on. But sometimes they're warm, so at least there's that.
So you've been in Cookville for a little while. I feel like I've watched you do like the athlete arc, right? Like individual, games bound, team stuff, and now kind of on the sidelines doing the coaching thing. And I'm where are you at right now? Like, what are your big projects that you're working on? Obviously, we know you're working with Haley. Does that take up like the majority of your time? What else have you got going on too?
Yeah, so right now I'm obviously not competing. It's kind of funny because I was thinking about the timeline of where I was last year at this time, and I didn't know that I wasn't going to be competing at this point last year. But my main project is I'm helping with Mayhem Mission, the nonprofit that Rich and Hillary started. So just kind of heading that up and helping that get organized and off the ground. And so that's my biggest venture. I still also work under the CrossFit Mayhem platform. So I help with some online programming and things like that. And then obviously I've spoken about this, but I'm not like Haley's true coach in the sense of like, if you think about someone like Ben Bergeron or that's like their sole job. I'm definitely more of a big sister, friend, mentor, just there for her in more of like, a friend space. Rich does all the programming and I'm not doing that training anymore either. So he's doing all the training with her and stuff. So that is definitely part of it, but not as, I guess, I have like other jobs outside of that too.
What I love about that role is, and I think that more athletes honestly should should invest in an emotional support person versus a true coach, because the hay's in the barn, right? Like kind of by the time you get there, you've done the training. And I'm not sure of having someone on the sidelines to say like, okay, when you get to the 10 thrusters, break it up 5 and 5. Like you're smart, you're an athlete. You've been doing this for how many years and you've gotten to this point. Isn't it better to have someone on the sidelines to give you a hug and, be a shoulder to cry on and be a person to celebrate a victory with and just like know how and when you need your protein shake? You know what I mean? Like be helpful in a sense, as opposed to break down every single piece of which you can break down every single piece of programming as well. But it's just, you're, I don't know. It's nice to have both, I feel like. And as an athlete, you probably know that.
Yeah, I think everyone's very different, and that's like Haley's very independent and she's very smart, and she obviously training with Rich every day from like I've experienced that. It's a very much he leads by example, and like you just kind of learn and fall into step with this rhythm of kind of greatness and what he's doing. So she doesn't need me to tell her how to break things up, because the amount of time she's done workouts, she understands what it's going to feel like. But I don't think that's the case for everyone, right? There's going to be some people who really want, hey, tell me how to break this up when I'm going to the workout, and that will give them some mental security. But yeah, for Haley, it's like, hey, have you eaten today? It's time to eat now. And she'll a lot of times like present her strategy to me, and we'll just talk it through. Okay, so yeah, either that sounds good, or like, what about this, and throw out some other ideas. So little things like that. And obviously Rich plays a huge role in that too.
Do you miss it ever? You're around competition so much without being in it. Or is it like a big stress reliever? Like, oh, thank God. Thank God I don't have to do that shit.
I miss it so much. I honestly really do. I've been a competitor since I can remember. So it will always be something I miss. And I think that's, since I recognized that early on, it was, once I decided to step away and recognize, hey, you're going to miss it like this, even if you did another year. Or if you did 5 more years, you're gonna miss it like this. So just recognizing the reality of that, I am very happy where I'm at. My body is significantly happier with where I'm at. I love the job I'm doing with CrossFit Mayhem and Mayhem Mission. And I love the opportunity I had with Haley last year, that if I was competing, it would not have been possible for me to do what I did with her. So yeah, I'm super grateful that I was able to transition at that time.
It's so cool. And on it, obviously, like you're still keeping super busy. I mean, I'm always so impressed. I think John and I were just talking about this the other day. Like, Mayhem is such a machine. Like, there's so many different gears turning all the time. There's so many different things happening. And I'm always so impressed by how many legs the organization has. Like, it's born from this one dude who got real fit, like basically in his garage, in his barn, and now look at all of the different things, the programming and the people and the charities and the bison. Like there's so many things. How do you keep it all straight? How do you balance it all out?
Well, yes, there is a lot going on, that's for sure. And I think it's definitely a testament to Rich and Hillary just like stewarding well what they've been given. And they are an incredible lead for the entire organization. And as you can see, it's not just one organization, it's so many pieces of that. And there's so many amazing people that have come beside them and been able to, like lead up Frooning Farms and help with that, or Mayhem Athlete. And then Mayhem Mission was just kind of born within the last year. So all these really cool things, but man, I don't know what the answer is. It's just like amazingness just happening. And I can't even keep up a lot of times, which is cool that I have like my little segment that I get to focus on. And then somebody else has their segment. Like I have no idea what's going on with Frooning Farms. I just see like 50 bites in the field. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that make the wheel turn.
Can you give us some info on the Mayhem Mission, or is it too soon? Is it
Oh
too
no,
early?
yeah.
Can we talk
No,
about it? Yeah, like what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Rich, Hillary, Brian, they created this nonprofit. It's basically to go back. I know Rich, obviously, he has a heart to give back and to serve people, and he's done that, him and Hillary, even before Mayhem Mission was a thing. And I think when there was a tornado here in 2020, actually, that just totally annihilated Cookeville. And it was something that people hadn't seen in years, or if ever, in Cookeville. And a lot of people lost their lives. And I remember being here through that. And I think that was kind of a catalyst for being like, Rich being like, I really want to help in a greater capacity. Like we ended up selling the Pray shirts, that's where this was born, to raise money for the tornado victims and things like that. But to have a better route to help people. And that's where kind of like the nonprofit was born. But Mayhem Mission is really cool. It's super unique in a sense that it doesn't have a singular focus. Like which is common with a lot of nonprofits and amazing. But we focus on all different areas. And so we actually have 4 specific quarters. So our first quarter is focused on human trafficking. So this year we partnered with Rescue Freedom. You might have seen we did an awareness event in April to raise funds for that nonprofit. And we raised almost $80,000 through an online CrossFit workout. And then our second quarter was focused on water. We just finished a similar event of an online workout, and we partnered with Never Thirst and 2535 Water and raised some funds for them. And I think we raised about 40,000, don't quote me. And then we have our third quarter, which is at-risk youth, and we partnered with some organizations like you probably heard of, Kiala Foundation, Project Onyx, Kings of Grit. Yeah, we've got Mayhem for Mustard Seed, which would normally fall in that, so Mustard Seed Ranch. And then our fourth quarter, we'll be partnering with Radical and Urgent, and the focus is unreached people groups. So the idea is just to kind of spread the gospel, to serve people, to love people well, to come alongside amazing nonprofits and people already doing incredible work and helping others, and just help either build that platform, bring awareness, raise funds, things like that. So it's been a whirlwind. It's been really cool just to see God move through all of that and people just come alongside and support these causes, because there's so much need, there's like never ending need in the world. So any little bit that any person can do, even if that's just talking about like the human trafficking thing that we did in April, was really eye-opening to me, because I didn't understand the gravity of something like that, like in the United States, let alone other countries. So to even become more aware of what that looks like is helping.
Will it be the same? Will it be the same subjects year over year? Like, will Q1 always be human trafficking, or will you guys pick a different need every quarter and it'll be sort of ongoing?
Yeah, so we're going to keep the quarters the same, but that doesn't mean we'll always partner with the same nonprofits. We definitely have like great relationships with the ones we've already partnered with and plan to continue to work with them, but also open to just helping other people too, that might have similar focuses, and even things that fall outside of those categories aren't off limits. So yeah, it's been really fun. And I love the idea that I don't know if there's another nonprofit. There probably is. But in my experience, I'm like, nonprofits usually have one singular focus. So I think it's cool that it's born something like this.
Well, if I can give a suggestion for a group, there's the Send Megan Woolley to College Fund.
Oh, yes.
So,
gaining traction, I hear.
Yeah, especially if she looks at out-of-state colleges. So let's get that on the short list, please.
Yeah, just email me and I'll see what I can do about that partnership.
Perfect.
I'm so scared of that. Like, my mom just this week was like, we're going to start a college fund for the baby, right? I'm like, he's 9 weeks old.
Look.
And she was like, yeah, well, if you don't do it now, you're not going to have any money. You're not going to have shit in it in 18 years. I was like, oh my God.
Look, here's how you handle it, Nikki. You wait until they're about 16 and then you start a meme account. And and then you
make
roll
them
that
millions.
And make them millions and send them to college on that. That's how you do it.
Oh my God. If only
doesn't
that were
sound
real.
hard.
No.
It's totally foolproof. It'll work for anyone. Absolutely.
No, he's going to just be a genius and get his own scholarships, right? Totally.
That's what you do. You're like, hey, you want to go to college? Got to get your own scholarship. Let's go.
So, we were just the other day, my mom was like, I would like to, gift the baby some money, and I want to put it into the kind of account that he like maybe can only use for education, quote unquote, or like can't really use until he's like 18 or 21 or something like that. Like, we'll find one. And my brain instantly was like, yeah, put it in an education only account. And if he doesn't want to go to college, then like, fuck him, basically. And Matt was like, no, that's so stupid. Like, what if he doesn't want to go to school? And I was just like, what if he doesn't want to go to school? Like, what do you mean? What if he doesn't want to go to school? My forward thinking husband was like, think about it. Like, what if he wants to do a trade, or what if he like graduates and wants to start a landscaping company and he needs to take out a loan to buy like 100 lawnmowers? Like, who cares what he does as long as he's happy and successful? And I was just like sweating. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I have like this traditional, like, he's got to go to school, right? God, already the worst parent. Look at this.
When they get to that age, Nikki, they make up their own minds. I have a 20-year-old that's not in college and an 18-year-old that's looking at colleges and it's like hell bent on going, and the 20-year-old will go at some point. She just doesn't want to go right now, but she's happy and working and enjoying her life. And
makes sense. It
Yeah,
makes
they do
sense.
it,
I just don't know. I don't know at what point I'm going to be okay with him making his own decisions. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, I get to tell you what to do. You came out of my vagina. Literally. Like, at what point in life am I going to feel confident not saying that? Because right now I'm like, oh, he's going to do whatever the hell I want him to do. I made him. When does that go away?
I think the parent gene kicks in, at least for me, it kicked in high school when they start like going off with their friends and going to parties. And
he's not doing that. No, he's not doing that either.
Well, I mean, it's like when you can no longer protect them, you know what I mean? Like when they're gone and they're out, but you're not 100% sure where they are. You just have to trust them. Like they build up that trust over time. Then you just kind of, I don't know. It's not like I don't give my girls advice, but I also trust them to do the right thing. So eventually it just kind of works its way there. And I think that's good for us as parents because you got to let them go at some point. You just have to.
Well, yours is 9 weeks, so you got some time.
Yeah, you have a little
like,
time.
Let him go. I might put him back in.
Well, maybe, maybe. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Nikki and I are obviously on far different ends of the spectrum here, but
I know I need to get on your level.
No, you don't. No, you need to grasp it tight right now. Hold on tight to it and enjoy it. And you got a long time to teach this kid all this stuff. So you don't need to worry about it now, but Matt's right. Like, put money aside, save money for school in case he wants to go to school. If he doesn't, give him cash to do something else. Or go cash and go to Vegas.
I'm already panicking. I'm already panicking about it, you guys.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I went to college and I'm not using my degree in any capacity.
Right. There's always that. Or I went to college and got a degree that made me like 19 grand a year. Did that for a decade, racked up a whole shitload of debt, and then grew up.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So many options.
So many options.
Oh, good Lord. So Tasia, are you going to Dubai when Haley goes?
We haven't figured that out yet, but I'm really excited about the opportunity of her going to Dubai for sure. I would love to go. Yeah, we haven't like totally talked about logistics because it's kind of like, I guess it's almost here, but we still got some time.
Yeah, it's around the corner. It is the first official CrossFit event that I've ever like really turned down. Wah, wah.
How come? Just because you're baby?
Yeah, just because he's like, I'm breastfeeding and it would be too rough to like put my entire family on an 18-hour flight to Dubai right now. And like, we would all need to go and I would need to figure that out. And like, am I going to pump on the floor? Like, I don't know. It's just too soon. It's too soon. I can't do it.
18 hours in a mask. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound fun? So much fun.
So fun.
The best.
Yeah. But it is a great competition. If you have a chance to go, this will be my first time in 4 years not going. It's freaking great. It's awesome.
I didn't realize it's been going on for 4 years.
Oh, way longer. So before it was DCC, it was DFC. It was the Dubai Fitness Competition or Challenge or Championship. That's the one, right? Yeah. Anyway. And when they became sanctioned a few years ago, it was like a big deal that CrossFit was recognizing them. But before they were even part of the greater CrossFit organization, were hosting all sorts of major athletes from Europe. And it was always easier to travel over there from Europe. So it's been like on the map for a while.
That's super cool. I think I remember it was last year or whatever year they had recently. They had a lot of like really weird like moves in it. Like,
yeah, there's always that's kind of their jam is they always like come up with something like either like a weird movement or something we've never seen before. They had like the jumping up onto the platform squat situations and the flying push-ups. And they were like the first time I ever saw flying push-ups. The first time I ever saw devil's press in a competition was there with like the giant ones. Like I feel like the women had like 50-pound dumbbells or something crazy like that.
It's always heavy too, right? It's like a heavier.
Totally. It's always a good, interesting competition.
Ooh, this will be the first competition with Ricky back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Now you got to go. Cool. You got to go and come back and give us details. We need somebody live.
I'm sorry.
Give you the details of what's going on. I know We'll see. It's definitely something I would love to do. I know the life has been a whirlwind as far as just like post CrossFit, like the games, Mayhem Mission. We've been just like rolling out events. It's been pretty busy. So yeah, that would be cool.
How's your like post COVID? I guess we're still in COVID when this really, you can't really say post. I wish we were post COVID, but like, what is your situation now in terms of like, obviously travel may or may not be stressful or be happening, but you guys are like, figuring out how to run the gym on a daily, and a lot of the stuff that Mayhem does, I know, is remote. Like, is this the world situation? Is it affecting you guys and all the things that are happening right now in Cookeville?
I would say no. So Cookville is very, I guess, like lax on the COVID type protocols. And we have been since the beginning. Like we obviously went into the shelter in place when it was mandated across the country. But since then, it's been pretty an open state. So I think COVID actually helped Mayhem a lot originally, just because everything shifted to online, like because everyone was doing it at home. And the platform really grew in that capacity because people were at home. And even like I write for the Mayhem 30 program, so it's a 30-minute body weight and minimal program. And a bunch of people started hopping on with that and following that. And that was really cool. So it hasn't really affected much. I know travel just in general seems to be affected with like flights being canceled and delayed and not happening. So I think just like in a general sense, some things have been affected, but not much.
No, good.
Nikki, when we went through the South this weekend, it was like a non-event. Now the roads are crazy because there's like trucks everywhere, like all the shipping's backed up, and so the trucks are all over the road. But it didn't matter where you stopped. A couple of times my girls were like, "Do we need to get masks?" I'm like, "Baby, we're in Tennessee. Don't worry about it." And sure as the world, like there's not a mask in sight. It didn't matter where we went, restaurant, grocery store, gas station. I swear to you, I don't think I saw one for 3 days. Like for the South, we joked about this. I think it might have been with Rich actually when we had him on, or someone from the South. That it's like they're just like, oh well, bless his heart, he died, and they just move. Everybody just moves on. It's just such a different environment down there. It's
yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in almost like a different world because the South is very much like, not any mask or anything like that. But then like we have people fly in from like Washington, where it's a very different space that they're coming in from. So everyone's kind of like in their own world of some sense, but yeah, definitely open here.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I asked because everything's still like everyone wears a mask everywhere here still. And I'm like, what's the rest of the world like? I'm in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Okay. Yeah.
I'm the only one. Just me.
Just you there. That's
me.
the smallest state, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It fits me. That's it. Totally. That's it. I always say that whenever I work like big CrossFit events, and especially at the games, because I just feel like 99.99% of all CrossFitters come from the West Coast. Like everyone's just like in either California or Cookeville, basically at this point. So whenever anyone asks where I'm from and I say Rhode Island, they give me this look like, what? Like, no one else is from there. Yeah, no, I know. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me. I'm the only one here.
I mean, I don't think I know anyone else from Rhode Island, if I'm being totally honest. And I lived in New England, so it could be just you.
It's me. It's just me on the coast. It's just me in the ocean hanging out. That's how it is.
So Tasia, I was curious, how do you scratch the competitive itch now that you're not competing anymore and you're surrounded by all these? Like as a competitive person myself, and I, clearly on a much, much, much different level, but like I always find myself trying to find somebody to compete with. Like, how do you scratch that itch now that you're not competing?
Yeah, so I mean, it's still a work in progress, but obviously being there for Haley, being in Haley's corner, definitely gave me a little bit of that, just like celebrating some like her success was it felt like it was my success too. So it gives you a little bit of that vibe. As far as from like a personal standpoint, I still just love fitness. So I mean, I'm doing lots of different things. I might do like a half marathon. I'd love to do some sprint tries. Obviously, not in the capacity of going for a victory, but just to like kind of complete it. And just in the gym when I'm working out, I'm not competing with anyone in CrossFit there because now I have no chance. But competing with myself
That's right. That's what we all are doing. That's like welcome to the everyday CrossFitter. Like, oh, ain't nobody in this gym gonna be where I need to be.
Seriously, it's so funny though, because for a little bit there, after I had like chilled out from doing like the competitive level of CrossFit, but I was still like months after holding on to this weird level of fitness that like almost gave me this weird feeling of being like, dang, like I still got it. And now months down the road, there hits a point where you really don't got it anymore. And I'm like doing things, and it's like a very much like you have to change your perception, because I'll pick up like a barbell that used to be, 95 pounds for me when I was competing. I'd like, throw that around with one arm. And now I'm like, man, I feel so heavy. I'm like, what have you been doing for the last year? So yeah, it's definitely a mental shift. And I definitely don't have those stores. Like you kind of hold on to it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's just gone.
But isn't it nice to not have to spend like 3 hours in a row training? I mean,
yeah, it is exactly where I'm meant to be in this space of life. So I feel very secure, happy, and like love it. And I don't have any weird, like when I get into a workout with someone, like I don't care if they beat me or not. So like, they're like, Tasia, do you want to do this workout with me? And like, well, I'm going to scale 50%. And then just if you see me just drop out in the middle, do anything weird, don't worry about it. So do your own thing.
I love that. That's exactly, if Rich ever looked at me and was like, hey, you want to do this workout with me? I'd be like, well, I'm gonna walk while you run. Like I'm just, I'll be over here basically doing a completely different workout, but don't worry about it. I'm here. It's fine. No big deal.
Exactly. That's where I'm at. I'm just in the same space as them, like picking up the fitness vibes.
I think
I don't know how he puts in that level of work for this many years. Like I've been in CrossFit for 10 years now. I think I told Nikki once on the show, I ran into Rich at the Arnold in Columbus in like 2012, and nobody knew who he was. Like CrossFit was so new. He was like hawking some protein shake or something. I don't know what he was selling, but he's like sitting at this booth holding this thing. There's nobody in line to talk to him. I'm like, I think that's Rich Frooning. And it, was a very young Rich Frooning, and so here we are a decade later, and this guy's putting in work like a superhuman.
Yeah. Like,
I don't get it. Like, what is it about that dude that allows him to continue to do it? Cause I mean, you said it, like you're like, oh, I'm loving not having to destroy myself every day. And I'm 51 and I love it when I don't destroy myself at all. Like, how does he do this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the answer. It is incredibly impressive, especially now, because not only is he maintaining an exceptionally high level of fitness, but he's got a family and he's got like 100 businesses, and he's traveling around. So I think maybe he's just really got special powers or something.
Yeah, I think
it's amazing.
I fully believe in that. I fully believe some people are just magical like that. Especially now where I'm like, wow, he has three children. Like I have one and I can't even shower every day. Like I don't understand. I don't get it.
And horses and bison and like, just the work. So it is incredibly impressive, and I really wish I knew how he did it.
I don't get it at all. I mean, I just really don't. It's unbelievably impressive. All I can imagine is he has you guys feeding the bison for him. It's like, all right, Tasia, it's your job. Wednesday's your day. Go get the feed.
Go feed them.
Go feed the bison. And there, you and Ro out there feeding the bison together. It'd be great.
I love feeding the bison. Actually, when I get the chance to, they have so many fields, they get rotated. Sometimes I don't even get to see them because they used to be stuck in the field that was like right by the barn. So they know because people like bring them bread and stuff. But if they're in a far field, I can't walk all the way over there. So
that was like the saddest thing. That's the saddest thing I've heard all day. It's like they have so many fields. Sometimes I don't even see the bison.
And there's like 50 of them now. There's like a bunch of little ones. I don't even know. Before I knew how many there were, and now I don't even. There's a lot.
Wait, there's baby bison?
I think I read that. They just had babies, didn't they?
Oh.
Yeah. So they had gotten a whole The original, whatever, I was just going to call them a flock, which I know is definitely her. It's not. It's not.
It's a flock of bison. That's fine.
I get it. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, flock of
The
bison.
flock of bison was like 12, and I think, or something. They were all supposed to be pregnant, but they weren't all pregnant. And then they got another input of like 10, which I think there's at least 10 babies. And I could be totally butchering it, but it's a lot of baby bison. And they start out, they're like orange, kind of like super cute and tiny, but the moms are all super protective. So if you get too close, you know, they'll run away, but super cute.
Oh my God, when can we go to Tennessee?
I know, I'm ready.
Yes, come.
Let's
We-
go. You know, we've been
we want to.
saying forever that we wanted to come for like a Train with Rich weekend or something like that. Like we've been mentally planning this trip for ages. I think we should do it while the bison are still babies.
Yeah, let's go. That would be awesome. We would love to have you guys. And I think there's a Train with Rich probably before the end of the year. So
I mean, I know I said I couldn't go to Dubai, but I feel like I could get the baby and the husband and we could make it to Tennessee. I feel like
that's
that,
a quicker trip.
yeah, you
We'll
know.
probably work that out. We'll make that
Yeah.
happen. Can we talk about Rose beard real quick? What's going on with that thing? It's huge and gray. Man.
Definitely Tasia's like are in with like all the like mayhem like tea. Like, can we tell her that? Ra's bad.
I actually was listening to your guys, like, I think it was the most recent episode. It was the one where you like apologized to Ricky or whatever. And you guys talked a lot about Mayhem on there. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. I'll just hop on and talk about Mayhem. But yeah, Rose beard, I think it looks great. I have no idea why he's growing out, but he's definitely working it.
So someone sent me, I need to send it to him. People send me memes all the time. And somebody sent me a picture of Tim Allen from the Santa Claus movie where he progressively,
Yes.
with a beard progressively grows.
Fierce
like-
beard in that movie.
Yeah, they're like, is this Ro? Is this what's happening to Ro right now? I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I know.
but
it's
also
great.
Tim Allen gets like fatter and fatter in that movie, and that is
Yeah.
not what like
Yeah,
Rose
and
still
Rose
fit
got like
AF.
a 8-pack, like making me
Yeah.
sick with
Yeah.
how fit he is. I can't
Yeah,
stand it.
truly. So
I
we
think
just
that's
gotta
what
fatten him
happens.
up.
I think that's what happened. What's amazing to me about Cookful is you guys are surrounded by Cracker Barrel and apparently go every day, according to the posts that I see from everyone. And yet everyone still has 6-packs and just looks phenomenal. But you're eating biscuits and hash brown casserole every day. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Well, Facundo actually is the person who goes every day when he comes. And by every day, he goes like 3 times a day every day. If you didn't know, fun fact, Facundo made it on the Cracker Barrel Instagram page
Nice.
because he went to Cracker Barrel. You have to find it. He went to Cracker Barrel, I think like 12 times within like a 3 or 4 day span or something crazy. And so that he made it onto their like little
Are you
Instagram.
serious? I am going to text him right now to send me that post. That is legendary.
Well, when we
It's
saw
the best.
when we saw that Gia joined there or had moved there and was training with you guys, I went on Facundo's page. I'm like, have you taken Gia yet? And he's like, literally as soon as he landed, like, and then posted a photo with them at Cracker Barrel together. I'm like, you're killing me. Just unreal.
Yes, whenever Facundo's here, we know we're going to like dinner. There's not another option. Breakfast, lunch. We're going to Cracker Barrel, and he always gets the country boy breakfast,
Yes.
even if it's dinner or breakfast or lunch. So I
Oh,
love it.
Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever learned. This nugget of information will stay with me forever.
I was like so proud when I seen him on the Cracker Barrel Instagram. I'm like, you've made it. This is it.
I think there's nothing better. Truly. I think, man, now I feel like I need to up my game because if he goes 12 times in a row and I've only been that one time and I didn't even do the grits right.
you did not do the grits right.
Damn. I got
Yeah,
back
you
on
gotta
this
go again.
podcast, Tasia, and I was like, I don't know why everyone keeps talking about grits. They're not that good. And John was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't know. They just taste kind of like styrofoam. But I
Yeah,
added nothing
actually-
to them. I didn't know.
Okay, well, what do you add to them, John? What do you put in yours?
Well, first of all, loads of butter. Got to have butter in the grits, and then salt and pepper. That's why I had grits today at lunch. That's the kind of Southerner I am, and it's butter and salt and pepper. And today I added some sausage links and a fried egg on top, and it was delicious.
Well, that sounds really good. I'm honest. I usually skip the grits and go for like a pancake or something,
Oh,
but
those are good
maybe
too.
I'll give this a go. This buttered grit a go.
It's great. And you know what? You get everything you need. You get all your carbs. You can add some protein, put an egg. What's wrong with eggs? Like, it's great. So good.
Sounds good to me.
But
Yeah, it's
Nikki
worth
just
a
did a
shot.
plain old white grit with nothing in it. And that's just gross. Shouldn't be done that way.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Listen, it was like prime pandemic time. Okay. And I was driving in a direction where I never am. And because there's no Cracker Barrel near me. So we were there. My husband and I got takeout and we like ate it in the car because it was still weird and you like couldn't eat in restaurants. And it's not like they gave me, and it's like, I feel like when they put the grits down, there's like stuff. There's like, here are the condiments and here are the things, and you can add stuff to it. But it was just like me in my car with my grits and like a plastic spoon and like nothing else. And I didn't know I had to add anything. And I was like, this is bullshit. I don't know why everybody likes this stuff. This is gnarly.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I would like sweet grits better though. Anyways, like if you add like brown sugar and raisins, like make it like an oatmeal, which I don't know if that's acceptable or not.
Yeah.
If you're a savage, yeah, I guess it's acceptable.
Okay, perfect. I'll add the butter to that as well.
Yeah. There you go. Butter makes everything go around. Truly.
Butter makes everything better. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Well, Tasia, I'm glad we finally got you on here.
Yeah.
Feels
Thank
like
you guys so much for having me on.
have you on and just basically talk about nothing. That's what we do. That's our jam. Actually, I was really excited to hear about Mayhem Missions. I keep seeing the posts on it. And so I think it's really exciting what you guys are doing. And anytime you guys need help, reach out to Nikki and I. We're happy to, talk about anything you guys need to talk about, push it out. I can do a meme about Rich every once in a while, just for the heck of it.
That would be awesome.
I love doing rich memes. I don't do enough rich memes. I need to do more. I'll do more this week just because we had this conversation.
Yes, I love it. Just totally make fun of him.
Hey, he's got a great sense of humor. That's the thing I love about that dude. Like you
true.
say a lot of things, like a lot of times these top tier athletes and just top tier people are like great at what they do. They're not really funny. Like a lot of them aren't. Like they're really serious. Like, a lot of people that are really good at something, they're really serious and intense. And he is intense. Like he's an intense dude, like he works out like 12 hours a day. He's got a little intense, but
she's like, I know, I was his teammate.
I know, but he's really funny. Or at least he's been funny with me. I can't speak if he's funny to you, but he's funny. He's always been funny with me. And I really respect that about him, that, even when some of the jokes are probably meaner than they should have been, he's like, no, it's okay. You got to laugh at yourself. So
yes,
I like that about that dude. Good guy.
For sure.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Nikki, when are we going to Cookville? End of the year?
I mean, like tomorrow, maybe the next day.
You guys are welcome.
Hey, I'm on maternity leave for like 2 more weeks. So
look,
that's it. You need more.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to come down and Rich is like, all right, here's our series of workouts. And Nikki and I are going to do like 10 minutes of the first one. And then we're going to sneak out the back with Fakendo and get, Cracker Barrel. Yeah, grits.
Yes. Yeah, that's what you got to do. So, I mean, if you show up, there will be like this expectation that you put on yourself to work out, but all you got to do is hit like maybe the first one, and then we'll all sneak out and go hit up Cracker Barrel. Be like, we didn't know there was going to be 6 more.
We didn't know. We thought we were here for the one, and it was great. And now I'm hungry.
Yes, and the one will be at least like 4 to 5 parts, so we'll be fine.
Ew!
Perfect.
I don't even want to do the one now.
Now here's my to-do list. Here's my Cookville to-do list before we wrap up. We're going to do one workout with Rich, then we're going to bolt. We're going to go look at baby bison.
Okay.
We're gonna run over to Haley's new house, check out her crib, see the new kitten.
For sure.
She has a new kitten.
For sure.
I gotta play with a little black kitten, and then we're going to Cracker Barrel. It's gonna be great.
Sounds like an epic
It'll
day.
be baby's first Cracker Barrel. This is very important, educational, even.
Sounds fun.
We'll learn how to make grits.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, and we're gonna stroke Rose's beard. We're gonna do that too. It's gonna be great.
Okay. Great. Where are we staying? Are we staying with Rich? You should tell him we're staying with him. We'll be right there.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Guest house. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah. We'll just stay in the barn.
Yeah.
Hey, there's plenty of space.
I mean,
No heat though, but does the baby need heat or?
Oh, like plans are changing.
All right. Well, super fun, guys. Appreciate it as always. Tasia, great catching up. Nikki, love you as always.
Yes.
Hug that baby for me. And for everyone listening, we appreciate you guys joining us, and we will chat with you guys soon.